Yo, yo, yo. I don't have too many viewers right now, but I will at some point. I hope if you are going to watch this live, that's going to be awesome. If you're watching the uh, pre recording part of it, welcome to the DC podcast. This is going to be my first live. I'm gonna try to do uh, live streamings. Sorry, I'm fixing my camera right now. I'm gonna try to do live streams on Wednesdays or Tuesdays. It depends actually what how the situation is, but I hope everybody's having a great time. Hope everybody's doing a wonderful job at work, whatever you're listening to. Hope you're if you're driving back home from work. Hey, I feel you. I used to drive literally from San Francisco all the way back home, which is not even, I live in Oakland. Uh, from where I used to work, uh, literally just the whole peninsula and the other side of the bridge. But normally it will take me between an hour and 30 minutes to 2 hours to get home almost every day. That was horrible. That was horrible. And I thank God for this opportunity. I thank God for my current job. I thank God for this channel. I thank God for you guys. So let's see what God has in store for us. And I know we're gonna go grow up together. What do I have for you guys today? Let me go check really quick something before move on. Before we move on to the next topic, but I found some videos. I found some stuff that we need to talk about it because it is sad the way things are going in the country. I'm not going to focus on politics right now. I'm not going to focus on anything that is not supposed to be the word of God for now. But at some point, probably we're going to open up the discussion for politics. I'm not an expert, but I can bring some people. So let me just go play this video for you guys. And we're going to talk about, I don't know if you guys actually seen Sylvester Stallone, a.k.a. Rambo, a.k.a. Before we go into this, make sure. There it is. Before we go into this video, but I don't know if you guys seen this interview with, I think his daughters, they have a podcast. It's called the Unwaxed video. You asked me why they actually call it Unwaxed. I don't want to know, to be honest with you. But there we go. There we go. And I try to stop it. Come on. And this conversation right here is very interesting. I just want to tell you, it made me sad at some point. I'm just like thinking about how some people can actually go in life with hurt, and then you start hurting other people. I'm putting it in perspective because he's a, for what I know, and for, I don't know him personally, of course, but if you know him personally, that's awesome. I hope you actually can see that what he says is true. To me, one of the things that if you're a public figure, I pray that I hope also that you can that you can live the same way you live outside, the same way you live inside your home, because the people who is behind doors watching you, the people who knows you the most, to me, it's important that they agree with the way you say you live your life on public. So behind doors, to me, that's the most important thing. But he's going to tell us what happened with his dad. And I'm going to make this bigger so we don't have any commercials and stuff like that. I'll make it bigger so you guys can see it. But it is sad. It is sad. my wife was watching and she's like, you gotta play this in the podcast. So I was gonna record, but I was like, you know what? Let's do a live video. Let's see how that goes. And you guys gonna hear probably some live events in my home. I have all my daughters at home. I picked them up from school, and we got the babies. We got everybody. At some point, we gotta move this year, and I'm praying. Pray for me. Pray for my house. Pray for the next step. And because I'm gonna need a bigger space. This room right here is like 10 by 10, so you guys don't see it, but I see it, and it's tight. It's tight. And then we are seven in my household. So for you guys to let you know that we are seven people living in this house. So we need a bigger space. We need a bigger space. All right, let's go watch this video. I'll put this on a full screen.
Bedrooms and run by an older woman, and it's not a flop house, but it's transient. Mm-hmm. Salesmen coming in, stewardesses, people that are on the move, and I'd sit at this table with adults, and run by an older woman, and it's not a flop house, but it's transient. Mm-hmm. Salesmen coming in, stewardesses, people that are on the move, and I'd sit at this table with adults, and I'm 4 years old, and no one talked to me, and I just look around and I'm going, I have no one to really relate to. And then the next day, they'd be gone, and it'd be another stranger, and another stranger. And I think it truly affected the way I interacted with people. Mm-hmm. I was kind of a loner because of that reason.
Well, there was a really interesting point that you made in your documentary that I don't think a lot of people picked up on, but I did. You had said that your mom was nervous to have you. She didn't want you,
Not at
right?
all.
And I thought to myself, you quite literally came into the world unwanted. Oh, yeah. And your first experience of life was you felt this negative energy. I don't want this kid. Your dad wasn't excited. Your mom wasn't excited. Did you ever, as a child, feel that at any moment when you were cognizant enough to understand, oh, wow, I actually don't feel loved, feel anything?
It's odd because the earmarks are there. I'm a little hesitant, but too incredibly repetitive, because it was told to me so many times. My mother would say, the only reason you're here is because the hangar didn't work. Or bouncing down those steps didn't cause you to get lost. And she said that, truthfully, Sylvester, and believe it or not, they called me Binky.
Wait. Okay, I saw this part, but I didn't get the point. Oh my gosh. Let's see what he said again.
Or because it was told to me so many times. My mother would say, the only reason you're here is because the hangar didn't work.
The only... See, guys, this is... my mom wasn't like that. My dad was not even close to that. I got no sound. Simon Phoenix HD, no sound. Let me check. I got the session right here next to me. Should have sound. Oh, well, let me see. How you doing, man? Oh, women. Sister, brother in Christ, Simon. Okay, so yeah, I have some. Awesome. All right. So yeah, this is. I cannot imagine. This is bunkers. To just okay, there you go. Just to say that goodness gracious, I don't know how to describe this. It's just very traumatic. I had people in my life, and I'll be honest with you, I'm sure everybody, you guys, if you're watching this later, I'm sure you had people in your life speaking like this. Let me just put it this way. These people, they have trauma in their life. I'm not a therapist or nothing like that, but for what I actually been through in therapy, these people, the only armor they have is that they have trauma in their life. And the problem with that is that you are not gonna overcome, and you're not gonna become a better person by you acting the way it's been done to you. Let me just be honest in that sense. You're gonna hurt even more people. You're gonna traumatize more people. And I don't know if I can actually say this, but I have a family member who went through a traumatic event when he was a kid, and he told us, he told the family and stuff like that what happened when he was a kid. His mom, he was taking care of his little sister, and he was, I think he told us that he was around 6 or 8 years old, maybe 7, and he, because he's a kid, he was a kid, he didn't have notion of time, nothing like that. All of a sudden, the baby, which was my, you know, it was like 2 years old or something like that. The baby started walking, took off. They never found the baby for a month. And all of a sudden, the baby came out. I'm not going to say it. They lost the baby. They lost the baby. And I can think about it because I have daughters. I can't think about it because they lost the baby, and this family member, suffered trauma, guilt, because he, for years, he for years he thought that it was his fault. His mom treated him like he was garbage, just like Sylvester Stallone's mom in that sense. I'm sorry to say it, but it was like that. It was like that with his mom in him, and it was horrible. And that made him carry guiltiness over the years of his life until he started actually, first of all, he gave his life to Jesus Christ. He confessed his pain, and there was actually more than pain in about the loss of his sister. It was his mom's throwing everybody, and every single time that he sees him throwing things to his face. And I cannot imagine, like, this family member lives on the other side of the country, but it's traumatic, man. It's traumatic.
Or bouncing down those steps.
For those who are not,
lost. And she said that,
who haven't actually watched this video, let's go really quick and just rewind it. This is what
anything.
It's odd because the earmarks are there. I'm a little hesitant, but too incredibly repetitive because it was told to me so many times. My mother would say, the only reason you're here is because the hanger didn't work. Or bouncing down those steps
you can see their faces.
You get lost. And she said that, truthfully, Sylvester, and believe it or not, they called me Binky because there was a hairbrush called the Binky brush. And for some reason, it said Binky. If there was really something wrong with your brain, I would have definitely opened up the window and put you on the windowsill and let you freeze. Because I'd be doing you a favor.
That's horrible.
Your brain is too young to compute. I almost thought she was joking.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I mean, what type of mother says that to their child? I mean, that's actually something we've been questioning when we were watching the documentaries. Between us, we all know, the abuse you went through with your mother, but and we definitely want to dive into your father's psyche and like the why he did the things he did to you and how it affected your, creative process and your future. Right. But what was the decision of leaving your mother out when she had just as much impact on your upbringing as he did?
I thought it would be too much for the audience. I thought that they would say, he's making this up, or perhaps he's looking for sympathy. Because it's when you're young, you're kind of naive and foolish. Go, maybe everyone's mother is like this.
Right.
I never really hung out with other people, so I didn't know what a happy home was. I thought this is
that's horrible.
Normal, modus operandi.
Right.
But as I got older, I realized there was some critically bad behavior going on, and then as I got older, I realized perhaps they are just um, a product of their upbringing,
Yeah.
which wasn't necessarily so. But I kept thinking, oh, maybe they're. But my mother was. Hmm,
You can see in his face he has pain. Look at that. Look at that face. He's got pain. I cannot imagine. Um,
hmm.
he can he wants to
She
cry.
was she was a troubled person. She was put into an orphanage, you know, and a very cruel orphanage because her father had remarried, and the new stepmother hated her. And I think my mother was also kind of rebellious. So she was put into an orphanage that it's unlike the ones they have today. It was, you know, you're tied to the bed, you're whipped, and she was terribly molested.
Wow.
And I think her ability to ever show love was short circuited. She literally couldn't stand to be touched or touch at all. I mean, not even
So,
a hug.
as a child, though,
Yeah.
touch is the most important thing you can give a
Yeah.
kid.
Right.
So, how did her lack of touch towards you, skin on skin contact, affect you long term? I mean, did it affect the way that you view meaningful relationships or developing even friendships with people? How did their lack of being available to you carry with you long term?
Well, I could tell, you could ask my wife. I didn't like being touched. I couldn't handle it. You know, any sort of affection, touch like this, it was so alien
Oh.
that it made me incredibly uncomfortable. And I've just literally come to terms with of course, your mother, which I love now, but she'll tell you for years.
Right.
I just thought that.
That must be difficult living with someone who can't even receive affection. Yeah, that's I mean, I you guys know my story a little bit. If you guys don't know, yes, when I was a kid, I me and my brother, we went through a essay. I'm gonna speak in code because we're live. This is YouTube. But yeah, my brother and I, we went through a traumatic event, which is, you know, me and my brother, we were essay by an adult, and and it was someone who actually my parents trust. They trusted this person, and while they were actually at opening the house and stuff like that, it happened. I am beyond that point, but at the same time, it's like it's always gonna be with me. It's always gonna be with my brother. It's always gonna be with, you know, it's gonna be in my head. Um, I have pieces in my head still, but at the same time, it's like I know God has a purpose, so I'm holding on to that purpose. I'm holding on to the purpose of becoming someone new because my mind has to be renewed. In order for me to renew my mind from trauma, from whatever you need to be renewed from, you need to open up to the action of the Holy Spirit in your life, the movement of the Holy Spirit in your heart. And the Bible says that we are new creatures because of the Spirit of God in us and because God has redeemed us through the blood of Jesus Christ. And in just one of my previous videos, I spoke about, you know, generational curses and stuff like that. I don't know what happened in my family before me. I'm not. I believe Jesus paid all for all sins, and He paid for any generational curse, and He was cursed because of us. And this is a new covenant, so I'm gonna hold on to the new covenant just to make sure I can live a life that pleases God. Number one, that pleases His presence, His glory. That I'm gonna reflect what He is in my life, because you can't tell someone who's been healed, You can't tell someone who's been through trials and tribulations and overcame because of God. But by myself, I'm sorry. I've got to tell you this: we cannot overcome. We're not overcomers, but we are overcomers because of Jesus Christ, and because He put His presence in us, and His presence reveals the character of God in our lives. But as humans, we are going to have at some point, the enemy will try to remind us. The enemy probably is going to try and remind you, but you have overcome because of Jesus Christ. So you don't do the same thing it was done to you. So you don't pursue wickedness. So you don't pursue things that break people. Instead, you edify people because you've been edified by God. That's my testimony. I can tell you that. I'm a pastor kid, whatever you want to call me, but I was not in a good place. Knowing that God was, I knew who God was. The enemy knows who God is. Demons know who God is. Yet they rather not surrender to God. There's actually an explanation about if angels or fallen angels can be forgiven. They cannot. That is the difference between us and angels. Because we were born in sin. We have a free will too, but we choose not to listen to God. We choose not to listen to God, and this is actually things happen that breaks people, puts trauma in their lives, especially kids. That's what I'm so passionate to speak to the parents. Don't project your traumas on your kids. Oh, now that I'm live, I'm gonna go for it.
That was normal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We remember just holidays alone, how uncomfortable growing up it made you. I mean, you had to truly relearn how to have a healthy relationship when mom came into the picture and having a family because you weren't used to,
Yeah, do you remember?
Normalcy.
I didn't like Christmas
No.
or Thanksgiving.
Board games.
No.
Forget
Actually,
it.
in Rocky, that's when I wrote one of the lines where Adrian comes out. He goes, but it's a special day. It's Thanksgiving. I said, to you. To me, it's Thursday.
Right.
And that's the way, that's true.
True. Yeah.
Well,
to me.
What I think a lot of people loved throughout this documentary is how many hidden messages you explained that were in your dialogue. For example, one of my favorite ones, and I had no idea, was when Mickey comes to your door, and you did a take, and then you did another take, and that second take was really what you wanted to say to your dad.
Right.
But you never did.
No.
Why didn't you?
I didn't have the guts. I was afraid of him, and I don't think I was articulate enough. And when I wrote the screenplay, that didn't exist. And then I said, there's something, I got to do something to explain the frustration of wanting to say this, but you can't say it, but you can say it to a door, but when a man's face is in front of you, it just froze up. And because I was afraid of him.
Of course.
There was no joke. There was no joke. And I thought, my God, this is so great that I got a chance to do this in Rocky,
Write it out.
what I couldn't do in reality. But that was pretty much a very biographical moment.
So when all of this was going on, and a lot of
Right.
people I think can experience, they've had situations with their parents where abuse was happening growing up. What kind of survival tactics did you do to kind of, survive the day? I feel like when you're alone,
Survival.
yeah.
It wasn't as though I had, okay, here's plan A, plan B. I was so caught up in unreality, non-reality, fiction. I never went to school, and I would always kind of identify with cartoon figures, mythical Superman, Batman, this thing, you name it. It got to the point that I actually would sometimes make these horrible costumes out of a barber's cape and a pair of bathing suit and go to school. Under the clothes, I'd feel like I'm the real character.
That's
they don't
so
know
cute.
that. Oh, yeah, I know. It was all right until I got busted, and then it was pretty embarrassing. Like, hell, we have a special guest here today. Oh, Superboy, would you like to step up?
No.
And I take off my shirt and my bony legs, and I go, oh
That's
my
actually
God.
so
Yeah, would you like to fly around the room for us? I go. Then back then they had a thing called a dunce cap.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
I remember.
I didn't see this part right here. That's kind of cool. But at the same time, I can see that reflected in Rocky. Because you guys know this, if he's the one who wrote Rocky 1, 2, 3, 4. I think so. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Let me see. Let me double check. Rocky. Yeah. Sylvester Stallone. He wrote all of them. What about Rambo? Because Rambo is like that. He's a superhero. I don't know if you guys watched Rambo. If you are Gen X, no, I'm sorry, Gen X, Gen Z, Gen X, definitely they actually watch Rambo. You guys gotta watch Rambo. First Blood, the first movie. That movie is awesome. And let me see who wrote Rambo and directed. Yeah. Oh, okay. David Morrell and Dan Gordon. First Blood of 1972 American action trailer. Thriller of the main role in the problem of the homeless. Vietnam War. So he no, his last name was Rambo. Which is wrong. Yeah. David Morrell. That's the guy who wrote Rambo. He was a hero. I think I don't know if he's gonna say it. Let me just say.
Actually existed. I
That's
know we've seen it in
crazy.
cartoons. I got,
You got the dunce cap.
Oh yeah, as Superboy.
Oh no.
But that completely makes sense for your childhood to be doing things like that.
Yeah.
You're longing so hard for an idol or a role model or someone to look up to. So,
Right.
but you want it to be that. So
Oh my God! Because I'm sorry, my nose is running. What I wanted to do was just find something that would make me heroic.
Right.
For some reason, I always wanted to garner some sympathy or something,
Right.
and because I wasn't getting it at home, and then I became sort of a thief.
Right.
Because I would, whatever I could find, for example, in my father's pocket to be like $5 or $6. Believe it or not, it was kind of dangerous. I would take the money, let it be 5 ones or quarters or whatever, and go to school and give it to people. Like, you want to be my friend?
Stop. That sounds like something Sistine used to do
Oh,
growing up.
that's-
pay for friendship?
Well, he used to give people goldfish.
Pay people
Right?
for friendship.
She used to give people goldfish.
Friendship for sale, friendship for sale.
You know, I identify with him. I remember because I'm not socially awkward person, but I always want to hang out with cool people. Me thinking they were cool. I never got in trouble for that, or never got in trouble. Period. I was a quote unquote just good kid. I'm not you know. I try to live below the limits. Let me just put it that way. But I remember we went on vacation with my parents, and I used to hang out, like I was already like 14, 15, and I used to walk along the beach, and me and my brother, and all of a sudden we found this group of kids, and I remember we saw a cop pulled over, and we went to see what was going on, because they were yelling, they were screaming, they were saying, "No, don't take me." and the cop was corrupt. You know, I was with him in Mexico. It was like corrupted kids, corrupt. I'm sorry, cops, and the what was it? He was asking for like 300 pesos or something like that, and I had that amount in my pocket, and I said, just let him go. And they're all like literally like, oh my gosh, you did. Thank you so much. We'll pay you back. They never paid me back, but after that, we started actually having a cool relationship with all this group of kids, me, my brother, and him, these guys, and then um, they were so thankful. And all of a sudden, he's like, "Hey, you want to hang out with us? Just come to a hotel tomorrow. Our parents are gonna be somewhere. Just come to our hotel." So me and my brother, we went to their hotel and we hang out. It was a good hangout, not crazy like right now, like drinking and all the stuff. It was a cool hangout. They ended up actually being Christian, but I had a we ended up actually contacting each other when we left. Moral of the story is this: I remember also trying to be this type of kid because I wanted to be wanted. I don't know if you guys know this story. Again, I'm just gonna go back in my childhood. My parents were pastors. They were always on the road. They were always on the go. They were always helping, serving others. And I'm not. Believe me, I already passed this a long time ago. Me and my parents actually squared up all things up. And but I can tell you this because probably a lot of people react because they have emotional reactions like this way because they have trauma, because they lack something at home. And it's so easy. It's so easy to take advantage of situations like this or people like this. And that's why we have predators. And that's why we have people who take advantage of kids because of moments like this. And I just pray for every single parent out there. I just pray that you come to the realization that you need to be there for your kids. That you need to be there emotionally, physically, mentally, because sometimes you can be just like in working mode on your phone, texting, doing a lot of stuff. Oh, I gotta send this email. I gotta like stop for a moment and think about what would you do if you were your kid and you needed to talk about how was your day at school? Do you have homework? By the way, my girls, my daughters, they don't have homework this week, so that's why they just came back from winter break, and it's just being there for your kid. It's just being there for that person who needs you, which is the most important thing that God gives you to take care of. You are the role model for them. You mom, you dad, you're the role model. All right.
Yeah,
Seems
a little
like
different.
it seems like a lot of the things that from your parents' abuse, then the way that they treated you growing up, well, it garnered a lot of attention and seeking that. And then also, do you think a lot of the deep wounds that you got from them created this creative obsessionness that you developed now? Like you were always looking at movies, always writing, always trying to be the hero, as an escapism?
No, for sure. There was
That's what it was.
Hours. That sounds so sick. But there was a real cheap in my mother's bedroom, three-way kind of mirror. You get it in, you can see all sides. And if you get in there, you see like 2,500 figures and stuff. I would spend hours in that thing because you're moving around and go, look how many friends I have, and look at me. And you constantly entertain yourself for hours as opposed to playing sports or this and that. And it now I look at it, so that wasn't a very healthy thing. But truthfully, I also look at it as this is a preface or a prelogue to where I was going to go. I felt so comfortable in this kind of fake world, imitating songs and this and that, that was my reality. And stepping outside that mirror, it was, I don't feel comfortable at all. Because I didn't hang out with people. I didn't play sports, really. I didn't. I was a troublemaker. I got into a lot.
That's one of the things I can relate to. I used to play basketball a lot. Basketball was my refuge to stay out of trouble because nobody could guide me. I remember, I'll be honest, I'm so sorry. I'm not trying to expose my dad, but he never actually went to see me. I'm not projecting myself, by the way. I'm not projecting myself. Stop it. But you know what? Yeah, that's one of the things I told my dad. He never went to see me play play basketball. He never went to see me. I was good. They used to call me Miguel Jordan. I used to consume a lot of Michael Jordan videos. I try to copy his moves, just like Kobe Bryant, like in that sense, right? That's why I like Kobe Bryant, because Kobe used to imitate Michael in that sense, and I used to actually have good foot game, and I used to win tournaments. I went to trials for the Mexican selection, basketball selection. I didn't make it, but because I was young, and then I went to school and all this stuff. But basketball was my refuge. If not, I would have been a troublemaker. I I had to discover that I needed God, that I needed a savior. That's one of the things that we need to come to the realization, that we all need a savior, that we all need God, that we all need his redemption work in our lives. Otherwise, we're just going to go around. There was like actually a song says, I'm going around without you. Life is nothing without you. It's not a love song about Jesus, but it's a reality that we are nothing without. I mean, actually, Jesus actually said it. I just want to finish this part of the streaming with going to the Bible really quick, if you guys don't mind. Go watch the whole video. Go watch the whole interview with Sylvester Stallone. This is not actually brand new. I think it was like last year or something like that. I never watched it, and I like Sylvester Stallone. He was my hero because I love Rambo. Let's go to John 10:10. John, the book of John 10:10. All right. And I just pray that you can receive this if you see it at some point today or maybe tomorrow, or another day. But I pray that you can see it. The thief comes only to steal and kill and destroy. And I have come that they may have life and have it to the full. Another version says more abundantly. Who are they? Us. Let's go to the top, number 7. Therefore, Jesus said again, very truly I tell you, I am the gate for the sheep. Now, hyperbole, Jesus is actually talking right now. He's not, physically a door. He doesn't have hinges and doorknobs and stuff like that. So don't take it literally right there. But he is the only way to receive salvation, forgiveness, and grace. Verse 8 says, all who come before me are thieves and robbers, but the sheep have not. Okay, I'm sorry. It says, all who have come before me are thieves and robbers, but the sheep have not listened to them. I am the gate. Whoever enters through me will be saved, and they will come in and go out and find pasture. The thief comes only to steal and kill and destroy, and I have come that they may have life and have it to the full, or more abundantly. What has life events, people, and I'm not saying they're the devil, I'm not saying, but because they haven't dealt with trauma yet, but they haven't dealt with their fear, rejection. And I'm not calling it spirits, because it's not a spirit. Technically, the Bible doesn't say nothing about spirit of rejection and spirit of fear. But we got influence. We got influenced by the enemy to become fearful. And this becomes a habit. This becomes something that you can't fight by yourself. You need to fight it with the help of someone above everybody else, above anything else. And that's actually Jesus Christ. See, in this world we have deception. In this world we have unforgiveness. In this world we have rejection, you name it. Why? Because we react the way it's been done to us. And it's just like Sylvester Stallone, a lot of people deal with this type of trauma and they go in life not dealing with it. And that's actually the beauty of the gospel, because the beauty of the gospel not only deal with your spiritual condition, it actually deals with, because Paul says it, you have to renew your mind. Just the way you think, just the way you say things, just the way you act, just the way you portray before people. You can fake it. I used to fake it. I'll be honest with you. I don't like that life. It gets tired. It gets nasty. It gets to the point that you don't want to. I would not say I never actually had any suicidal thoughts or anything like that. Try to delete myself, nothing like that. No. But you get tired. I get tired. I get upset with people. And I used to get upset with myself because I give up many times. I give up. I didn't have the courage to understand that God had a plan for me, to understand that God has a purpose for my pain. If you didn't know, Jesus has a purpose for your pain. Why? So you can reach others, so you can actually talk to others, because you understand what they've been through. You need to understand the issues with the world in order for you to reach someone else also. I heard so many times, and actually I heard in churches, that therapy is not okay. That you don't need therapy. In some cases, you don't. I can tell you this. I went through therapy, not for long, but I can tell you my best therapy was the Bible. Both help, but the Bible made me, knowing God, reading the Word of God, made me free. I can attest that. Those are my sounds. There you go. That was tough. My mind was, I was remembering a lot of things. And I can tell you this. If it wasn't for God, if it wasn't for Jesus, I wouldn't be here. I can tell you that. How's everybody doing? Let me put some music so we can have this live stream more wonderfully made. Let me see what I got. No, this is too. Oh, any tone. There you go. I like that one. Nah, not that one. Too funky. No. I need to actually work on my music. Let me see. I got another one right here. Now, by the way, I cannot play anything because it has copyright. So I have an account. So don't judge me. Oh my goodness. All these songs. I need to go and work things out. No. Hey, I'm just checking my No, what is happening? Sorry guys, I'm bombarding you with all this stuff. There we go. All right, let's play that one. Let's just put it as a. I like this type of. Whew. That was actually a tough subject. I'm gonna invite my friend. If you guys don't know, but I have my friend Hazel. She is a therapist. Let me show you who it is. Let me just pull it up. Let me go to my Patreon so you guys can see it. How's everybody doing? Where are you watching us from? All right, let me see. If you guys don't know my Patreon, I have a Patreon, by the way. Just become a member. It's free. Don't worry about everything else. Just become a member. Become a member right now if you're watching this. All right, so I'm gonna put it on the screen for you guys. That's Hazel right there. Her testimony is amazing. She had a lot of trauma. She's a therapist. I know her from church, and her fiance, now she's engaged. She is engaged, my friend Hazel. She's engaged. So, okay, awesome. So that's my Patreon right here. Become a member, and I have the whole interview. I don't know why my face is like that. I'm sorry, guys. I'm just kind of like, what? But that day I did not sleep. The day that I interviewed her, and I already had to do this, and I was like, Hazel, I'm not gonna cancel on you. It's my fault because, you know, when my daughters, they were babies, and, you know, they were sick and stuff like that. So it's just it was kind of messed up. I didn't sleep. If you're a dad, if you're a mom, you know what I'm going through. You know where you're going. You know, I feel you. I feel you. That's for sure. I feel you. Now, let me just put the other one. Let's do this one again. Yeah. All right. You guys want to talk about something else? It's today. It's Wednesday, 8. And it's amazing. God is good. God is good all the time. My daughter's crying in the back. Let me just pull out the next topic really quick. If you guys don't know, I actually made my video reaction of, it's just the first part. I got another video that I have to upload about Joe Rogan and Wes Huff. That one's amazing. That was a podcast for the edges. I'm not happy to make fun of anybody. Forgive me, like I said, I pray for Billy. I pray for his well-being. I pray for his soul. To be honest with you, I care for people's eternity. That's something that I gotta express. I care for people's eternity. As you should. If you're a Christian, that's why I don't want to go into fights. I don't want to go debate and stuff like that. First of all, I'm not a debater. I can defend myself for sure, but I'm not a debater. How's it sound? Let me check. Okay, it's coming along. I'm just monitoring my sound and stuff like that. By the way, if you guys didn't know, I used to be well, I am a recording engineer also, but my church, my previous church, I used to be the media director, and I used to do all this stuff right here that you guys can see, even more. And I used to mix live the worship experience and stuff like that. So, by the way, I can tell you right now, me and my wife, we are gonna be serving in a new church, and we met with the pastors and and the board. You know, one of the things that I really like, I'll openly say this because it's amazing, that the accountability that I always actually talk about. Amazingly, I met some pastors. They are my pastors right now, and these people are amazing. Let me tell you that. If you're in the area in Walnut Creek, come to a church, Exchange Church, Community Church, and we're gonna be serving over there. Me and my wife. At some point, I'm gonna bring my wife to the podcast. I want her to give her testimony. It's amazing. And I can tell you, God has been doing something great in my wife's life. Just the way probably you have an amazing testimony. Talking about testimonies, I'm going to have also a crazy one. I have one of my friends. He is he's not from here, but he lives in the States. He is from Africa. And this testimony, I'm telling you, you guys gonna love this guy, because his testimony, it is, how do I say this? It's like a movie. His testimony is like a movie, an action movie, not just a movie, an action movie, just like a type of movie that you watch from top to bottom. And I'm gonna bring him. I'm gonna set up the date. He said yes, but after the New Year's and stuff like that. So this week I'm gonna reach out and I'm gonna ask him when is a good day for him to come. I'm gonna bring him live. I think he's gonna be in the Bay Area, so that's when I'm gonna make sure that we can bring him to the studio right here and have a conversation. Why not? But his testimony, guys, the first time I heard him, I was like, what in the world? What is this? Can I give you a little bit? No, I'm gonna spoil it. It's amazing. You guys are gonna love it. Also, again, I'm gonna bring I want to bring my friend and therapist, Hazel. She's gonna get married soon. Hope she's gonna watch this replay. I give it up for you guys. God bless you guys. You guys deserve this, and it's an amazing time for a lot of people. I celebrate your engagement. It's awesome. Keith, love you, brother. All right, let me just get to the next part. Okay, let me put so you guys.
wins, even though Brianna...
All right, we're back. We're back. How's everybody doing? Yeah, we're gonna talk about the fires. It's in California. I live in California, so I know what's going on right here. It's very unfortunate. I was actually talking to some family members, not family members, but I consider them family members. They're friends, but they're like family, and they have friends. They have family members in LA, in the area where everybody is evacuating, and they were telling me like they're scared. It's like, this is scary, especially right now, because it's, you know, it's not supposed to be like this. It's not supposed to be like this. It just rained last week. It's super humid right here in the Bay Area. So anyway, let's go watch this video where Anderson Cooper, I'm gonna speed it up. Hope I don't have any copyrights. And let's see what's going on right here.
These winds, even though, Brianna, the winds have died down, the wind is just taking these embers from the tree. They're all over the block, and they are moving to other houses, and you see new fires being created from these embers. This house is gone. I mean, just look, all these houses are gone here. There's a fire crew here. I was talking to the captain earlier. They ran out of water here on this street about 30 minutes ago. They went, they hooked up the hydrants, they turned them on, the water ran out. So now they're just moving on to another area. What they did when they don't have water is they try to create defensive perimeters around houses that they think they can save. And those houses are houses that don't have a lot of bushes, hedges, plantings in front of them or around them. Or if it does, they try to rip, they've spent like the last hour just trying to clear debris from houses to try to maybe save it. But it's a matter of luck or misfortune where these embers land, where the flames hop. This area over here, I want to show you. I mean, this house is completely gone. We've watched this entire house burn down. The house next door, the car that you see over here, we watched that. The flames jumped from the house onto the car. There was a small explosion as the gas canister blew. But look, Brianna. See, there's two houses on fire. The third house down now, the roof has caught fire. The fire captain was telling me they watch for the attics. Once you see smoke billowing out of the attic, and the attic is on fire, that house may be a lost cause. But it's like this. I mean, it's not just on this block. We just drove to Altadena, and just happened upon this block, got out, and I imagine it is like that. And you hear these explosions. There was an explosion that I caught. I put it on Instagram about 20 minutes ago from a house right down there. Just heard an explosion, and that is, gas canisters, propane tanks go off. So you hear these steady booms off in the distance, or sometimes uncomfortably close. But look, see, that's the crew I was talking to before. They've now moved down. They're scoping out. Let's walk over. They're looking at these houses, I'm assuming.
Man, that's messed up.
If they're going to stop here, maybe they would have decided these are defensible houses, and they're going to try to do what they can. There was a woman who lives in that house, that second house down there, about 5 minutes ago. We saw her on her lawn, and she looked very confused. And I mean, I'm no expert, but I said to her, like, I think you should leave. And she did. She had actually come back to just get some stuff. But when this house exploded, and it was quite loud, I think that freaked her out and made her realize maybe she should get out. Anyway, she got in her vehicle, she got her cat, she's gone. But it looks like this fire truck now, it looks like they're just going somewhere else. It's an extraordinary thing. 30 minutes from here in Hollywood or West Hollywood, Beverly Hills, there's coffee shops open, and you can see smoke in the air. You get in your car, you come here. These areas are blocked off, but it's so close to where regular life is continuing.
Yeah.
And for the people on this block, their lives now are forever changed. Look, this fire is now spreading down this block. We've been watching this. Here's what happened on this block. This house was on flames. Let's walk over here. There's a down cable line, so we just want to be careful about that. Let's go around it. Okay, so now the house next door caught. This tree exploded into flames. You can see up in the palm trees now, those embers made those trees go on fire. I don't know if you can see through the smoke. Behind the palm trees, there are now these very tall vertical trees. I don't know much about shrubbery. I don't know what they're called, but they're huge, tall trees. They are now just like flames shooting up into the air. This second house now, I mean, that is just gone. That car, I believe that's the explosion we heard a short time ago that I recorded. But now look, it spread down. This is new. Yeah, we've been watching. It then spreads from these trees. Look at all these embers. Just, I don't know if you can pan up, but look at all these embers just flying up. You see them in the smoke. All of that. The winds are a little, or have died down here, but those can just get picked up by winds for miles, and they can go for miles and light down, fall on somebody's roof, and a whole new fire will pop up. So this house is gone. This house is now underway. The left side of this house is ignited, and also now the house nearby it.
He's too close.
I mean, these embers are like snowflakes. They're falling all around us. The sun, I mean, this is what's so crazy.
It's gone.
You can't even see the sun. It is completely blacked out.
Let me see if there's any more. Oh yeah, the signal went out for him.
I mean, you can't even see this house, but inside that smoke is another house. It is sandwiched between two houses, completely ablaze. There's no way that house is going to survive. And then just down the block, you see smoke, but you don't see fires. But there's a lot of houses which have already been destroyed down there. But this is very active. This is recently caught. I mean, this is now completely engulfed. Okay. Yeah. And now you see it. Now this house,
like, that fire's
was relatively
like
untouched. Now
mad.
this house is being destroyed.
Man.
The fact that the crew here left, there was no water coming out of the hydrants. Obviously, that's a huge concern, as you guys have been reporting in the Palisades. That's been a real issue through the night. There is more of a gravity issue in terms of the way water is actually able to get pumped up through hydrants into the hills. I'm not sure what the issue down here is, if it's the same issue. They do obviously have water tanks that they try to bring to a number of locations, but I haven't seen any in this area, and there weren't any for the crew that was right here trying to do what they can. And it's really tough for these firefighters. I mean, they want to save everything. They want to stop this thing, but there's only so much you can do. Authorities have put out.
But look at the wind. Look at the winds. It's just it's blowing. It's blowing this way. Yeah, there you go. It's blowing this way. I got to tell you this. Like last night, right here, I was afraid. I don't know if you guys know this, but a tree fell over the house about maybe 4 or 5 months ago, and it's like literally scratched the whole side of the house. The house is fine, the structure is fine, but it broke a window in my room, so I'm thankful that nothing happened. But I was afraid again because we gotta check the trees in the backyard. They're a little bit old, and I was a little bit hesitant to go to sleep. I went to sleep like at 1 o'clock in the morning because it was so windy, like super windy. And I think they were saying that these winds right here were over 100 miles an hour. No. Where's my sound? There you go. That's nuts. 100 miles an hour. And I was hesitant because I didn't want the tree or any tree fall on my daughter's rooms and stuff like that. So I told them just sleep in my room. We had everybody in my room, but we gotta be cautious about this stuff. I cannot imagine what's happening with these families. They lost everything, and it's terrible. Let me go back to see what caused the fire. Let me go check. Wildfires, California wildfires. What we know in LA, fire evacuation announcements, what caused it was impacted more and more. Fueled by powerful winds and dry conditions. See, not here in the Bay Area. We've been having a lot of rain, Erupt Tuesday. Let me just put it on your screen really quick. Fueled by powerful winds and dry conditions, a series of ferocious wildfires erupted Tuesday and roared across the Los Angeles area, destroying hundreds of homes, still actually destroying homes, and leaving at least 5 people dead. Let me just make it bigger. A Los Angeles County fire official said there were untold numbers of significant injuries linked to of the fires in the city. Official in Los Angeles described Tuesday night as one of the most devastating and terrifying that she's seen in her corner of the city. I mean, you gotta count this, like, guys, California has a lot of wildfires. Lately, we've been having a lot of wildfires, especially, in the Bay Area. We hadn't had a wildfire in a while, but I remember last time was 2016. Oh my gosh. You saw this sky right here? It was like that for a long time in the Bay Area, for like maybe 2 weeks, maybe a week and a half. Please check me out if I'm actually exaggerating right now, but I have actually videos in my phone where you can see I'm going to work and stuff like that, and it's just like super brown, orange sky at 7 o'clock in the morning. We have to wear masks and stuff like that. So, I mean, that was before COVID, that we have to wear a mask all the time. But hey, it is what it is. That's horrible. I'm praying for the families. I pray for every single family who's affected. Oh my goodness, look at this. We can see this right here, the map. Come on. Oh, there it is. Okay. Pasadena, Fernwood, Wildwood, Topanga. It's all the coast. It's so close from Santa Monica. Holy moly. And literally right next door from Malibu. Whoo! Palisades. Man, that's terrible. Just pray for these people. Pray for them. This is actually terrible. I don't know how. I don't know how they're gonna stop the fire. The largest of the fires, the Palisades fire, has perimeter of more than 24.7 square miles. 24.7 square miles. Jeez. Man. Pray for the people. Lord, I pray for this people. Lord, I pray that your mighty hand can contain what's happening right now. Okay. All right, I'll be right back. All right. Sorry, I had to go take care of some stuff. No bathroom breaks. Don't worry about it. Hey, we gotta talk about this I don't know about you guys knew what's happening with um Trump. I He sent his son to Greenland. What is this all about? What's this all about? Let me check right now. What's this all about? Let me go check. Somebody text me that. I was like, you got to talk about this. I was like, okay. All right, let's go see the video really quick. I got it up. Let me check my window. There we go. Let's see what's going on.
President-elect Donald Trump is reigniting his ambition to acquire Greenland, sending his eldest son, Donald Trump Jr., to the Arctic island on what's being called a fact-finding mission. Trump Jr. arrived in Greenland on Tuesday, sharing scenic photos and joking about the frigid temperature.
Is that Kirk? Is that Kirk? Is that Charlie Kirk? It is.
Meanwhile, Trump doubled down on his vision for the mineral-rich island, calling it a move to make Greenland great again. On Truth Social, Trump shared a video of a Greenland local wearing a MAGA hat and urging the U.S.
Hey, there's a paisa right there. Hey, shout out to all my paisas. But what are you doing in Greenland, brother?
to buy us while criticizing Danish rule. Greenland is an incredible place, and the people will benefit tremendously if and when it becomes part of our nation, Trump posted. Despite Trump's enthusiasm, Greenland's Prime Minister, Mute Egede, has firmly rejected the notion, declaring the island is not for sale and will never be for sale. Egede emphasized Greenland's aspirations for independence from Denmark, vowing to determine the island's future on its own terms. Denmark has also pushed back, with King Frederick highlighting Greenland's symbolic significance by updating the country's coat of arms to feature a polar bear, representing the island more prominently. Trump reportedly views Greenland as critical for U.S. strategy, aiming to counter Russia and China's influence in the Arctic. Insiders claim he's 100% serious about acquiring Greenland and even considering the reacquisition of the Panama Canal. If successful, this would be the largest land expansion in U.S. history, surpassing the Louisiana Purchase. However, for now, Greenland's leadership remains steadfast. The island is not on the market.
For more stories like these,
it's not on the market. Why are you trying to buy it? And they receive them like they were like superstars. Watch out, right here. They're like, they have press, they have cameras. What do they want to buy it for? Can someone enlighten me about this? But okay, this goes. I'm not. Okay. This goes to every single thing we do. We don't lose focus, because there's a lot of things that we need to work on this country. There's a lot of things that I get it. Probably he's thinking, I'm not a politician. Again, I'm never going to be the president. But if I see something, I'll just put it in a small scale. If I see that there's something wrong in my house, right? And but I'm focusing on buying a new car, yet we need a new dishwasher. And we need a new, I don't know, like refrigerator or something like that. Something happened to us. If I know that I need all this stuff and I still thinking in buying a new car just because I want to look cool, or I'm thinking in the future, maybe, I don't know, whatever the reason is, it's not okay. First of all, that's one of the things I always going to go and promote that part of just, I don't know how to call it, just being reasonable and thinking like we have a lot of problems in this country, but let's just fix one problem at a time, and then maybe we can think about Greenland. That is just my perspective. I don't know actually the political part of it, and I don't know why they want to. Now that they're gonna conquer, they're gonna send all the, the Navy and troops over there just to conquer Greenland. But it's beautiful. See, sometimes I'm just gonna put it in a. Oh, you guys hear my daughters in the background. I'm gonna put it in a perspective of how do I say this? Spiritual perspective. That sometimes we need to fast. We need to make sure that we need to take care of stuff at home. I always say this with my wife, right? I'm sorry I'm going spiritual, and I'm going to put it in a spiritual perspective, because not in spiritual perspective, but it is true in every single area of our life. We have to be the same person. The person who you are inside the house, you have to be the same person outside. Why? Because now you're faking it. And I grew up like that. I grew up knowing that, because you're a leader, or because you are a pastor kid, there's nothing wrong with you. Wrong. There was actually a lot of things wrong with me. And I'm going to express that, because the things that we need to take care of in our lives, their priority for the future. We're not healthy. This country is not healthy. This society is not healthy. There's a lot of things that's been disrupted. And I would just focus on building that first. And that's just me. Building first the things that we need to build. Like, bringing this country together. Stop racism. I'm talking about spiritual conditions also. These are spiritual conditions. Having 2 bathrooms, one for girls, one for boys. Things like that. I'm just saying. I am just saying. And instead of actually focusing on trying to conquer or get Greenland for military purposes, if this is my question, if we didn't do it 10 years ago, why do you think you need it right now? Why do you think you need it right now? If we didn't take action 10 years ago in getting Greenland, why do you think we need it right now? I don't know. That's just me. If something is broken in the house, take care of it. Don't go and buy a new car. Do you need it? I don't know. Like I said, I'm not a military strategy, nothing like that. I don't know everything that is behind. Probably they have some behind scene or inside behind that we don't know. But at the same time, like, this doesn't seem very logical. And then they saying, again, if you guys watch the video, they're saying they're not interested in being part of the United States. I don't know what the deal is with this. Probably I'm very ignorant in this topic, but the logical way of thinking about this stuff is like, do we really need it? And why do we need it? I get it. Trump saying that, for Russia and getting ahead of Russia and strategizing military strategies against other countries. Again, please forgive me. I'm very ignorant in this topic. But this is what I see. Do we need Greenland? That'll be cool. Actually, it's pretty nice. It looks nice as a vacation destination. But let's take care of the home first. Let's take care of what we need to work on in this 4 years that Trump is going to be our president. Whether you like it or not, I'm not against. I'm not in favor. There's some stuff that I don't agree with. But let's just pray for a president. Let's pray for the people who are going to be leading the country. Let's pray as Christians. I'm not saying if you're not a believer, if you're not a believer, but if you're a nationalist, that's another thing. Just check your heart. Because at some point, I got to tell you this, nationalism is a sin. Nationalism is a sin. Whether you like it or not, whether you agree or not, nationalism is a sin. All right, guys. Well, we are gonna head out. I got some things to take care of, and I want to do more lives for sure. I want to do more lives. I think it's time. Let me play another one. Yeah, I think it's time. We need to start actually doing some lives. What do you guys think? All right, if you guys watch this after the live, the replay pretty much, thank you. Thanks for being with us. Thanks for coming. And I'm going to do again more lives. It's hard. I'm not going to say this is my first live ever in YouTube, on YouTube. This is my first live ever on YouTube, which is actually pretty hard. It's really hard. It's really hard. Hope you having a great time with your family. I'm gonna go eat something and enjoy my time with my family. And stay tuned. Subscribe. Hit the notification button. Hit the like button in this video. Like this video. Subscribe. Hit the notification button, and we'll see you soon, I guess. All right. Peace out.